Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. Continuing, of course, drawing every country in the world's flag. And today we got a wild and crazy one. We got a primal one here. We're going to be doing the country of Papua New Guinea. And I use the term country loosely because this is a fairly new country. And by new, I just don't mean when it achieved independence. This place is kind of primitive, and a lot of it is still unexplored. So, yeah, Papua New Guinea. No, I don't mean Guinea. Not Equatorial Guinea. Not Guinea-Bissau. Not Spanish Guinea, French Guinea, Portuguese Guinea. Not German Guinea, kind of. No, Papua New Guinea. So Papua New Guinea... it shares the island of New Guinea with Indonesia. And again, it's pretty remote. It's very untouched by kind of modern hands. And we'll get to all of that. The country, it's pretty rich with... mountains, jungles, a lot of biodiversity there, and a lot of plants, animals that they believe haven't even been explored and cataloged by modern eyes yet. So you always kind of see these rumors and stuff out of Papua New Guinea is like, are there dinosaurs still on this island? I don't know. There could be. And yeah, it's kind of a primitive sort of place. A lot of different tribes there that never really kind of interacted with the modern world or each other, really. So you have 839 different languages that are spoken in this country. So... kind of hard to call yourself a country, like in the modern sense, when it's when you got that much going on there. But yeah, it's interesting. It's a different kind of place, and we'll be talking about all of that. So around like 30,000 BC or so is when they believe that humans kind of first started settling in the area. A lot of Austronesian tribes from the south, and again, it became didn't become like discovered by like European powers until much later. Even some of their neighbors really kind of stayed away from it. Big reason for that is there's just so much mountains and jungles and just land that is extremely hard to get into once you start going into the island proper. So even like the early explorers of Papua New Guinea, they really kind of only hit up like the coast, so they didn't really go inland. So if you ever watch anything about like not the Solomons, what's the name I'm thinking of? The Sentinel Islands, right? The North Sentinel Islands that are another like untouched tribe, untouched by modern humans. You see something every now and again in the news with that area where like some missionaries go there and they don't come back because the people there are so primitive. They don't know, they don't know what's going on. So yeah, they get stabbed to death with spears, bow and arrows, and not a good time. Papua New Guinea kind of similar. So they really didn't start getting explored by like modern peoples until really like the 20th century. And yeah, when they see like planes like touching down on their island or helicopters, they kind of have similar reactions. Either that or they think they're gods or something and start praying to them. And yes, that really does happen in Papua New Guinea. So not too many peoples like that left in the world, right? Like the untouched tribes and civilizations. You know, there was a lot of them kind of like in the Brazilian Amazon and the rainforest. You know, still some in the South Indian Ocean, right? Like I mentioned with the Sentinel Island people. But yeah, so the world is small and it's big at the same time. So you think with all the technology and stuff we have now, there's still places of the world that we know very, very little about. So yeah, and that's where all the that's where, if you're into like the creepy, you know, the cryptozoology kind of stuff, you hear all sorts of stories about weird things seen flying over Papua New Guinea, weird animals. And yeah, so who knows what's going on there. Who knows when it will be fully cataloged and explored. But I think it's kind of cool that, you know, we always talk about exploring like space and stuff like that, and there's still places here on good old Earth that we really don't know too much about. In Papua New Guinea becoming one of them. And the name Guinea, again, that's kind of used in a lot of different countries, and different sources, explanations for that. One of the main kind of accepted explanations is that when the Portuguese first arrived in Africa, the name Guinea was used for the sub-Saharan African people that were there, right? Because I guess it kind of means black. And then when European settlers arrived in Papua New Guinea, they kind of used the same name because the Austronesian people kind of looked similar. They thought maybe they were like the same race of people. So that's one possible explanation for the name. And it's got a few different stars here in the flag, different sizes. So we'll just hit that. Yeah, so no Europeans until about the 16th century. Spain and Portugal start showing up. And again, it doesn't, they don't really go into the island. They're just kind of exploring like the outskirts. And then in 1884, as part of the German Pacific Empire, it becomes German New Guinea, right? And remember, this island isn't just kind of one people. There's tons and tons and tons of different people living there. The UK actually administers the southern part of the island, and that's where the name Papua comes from. So Papua is kind of like the southern part of the entire island of New Guinea. And then the Germans basically name it New Guinea for the northern region that they were administering. So Germany, you know, they have to give up their possessions after World War I, so their Pacific Empire is gone. And the British, you know, they won out on that one, so the British are still there. The British, they also have Australia. So Papua New Guinea kind of becomes like a unified League of Nations mandate after World War I. All right, so the island sort of becomes unified and not really like a full nation state yet, but yeah, it is sort of joined into one Papua New Guinea. And then you really start seeing a lot of foreign influence in the 1920s. So gold is discovered in that region, and brings a lot of adventurous types there, for the Papua New Guinea gold rush. And that's really the first time that the modern world starts kind of going into the interior of the island, right? So that's when they're kind of shocked to see just kind of how primitive the people are living there, right? Some of these tribes in Papua New Guinea, they don't even have like Stone Age agriculture techniques, right? So it's a very hunter-gatherer society from, that they thought were no longer active, after, 30,000 years ago. So this is like Bronze Age type stuff. But yeah, it does attract foreign interest. I wouldn't exactly say foreign investment, but becomes kind of part of the modern world. And then in World War II, a couple decades later, of course, being in the Pacific, that means it's going to kind of fall under the Japanese, under their sphere of influence. So, Japan is very active in the Pacific theater of World War II, and they're in Papua New Guinea. After the Japanese lose, they become a United Nations trusteeship, right? So that's when Australia starts doing a lot more administration of the region. So it doesn't really become part of Australia proper, but if you think like what the United States does with Guam, or like Puerto Rico to a lesser extent, just kind of becomes like an administrative region for the Australians. And again, 839 different languages in this country. So when you're trying to, in the 20th century sense, when they're carving up the globe, right, the world order, all these nation states kind of forming in the European model, Papua New Guinea never ever developed any kind of political institutions like that. So a bit of a bumpy road there. But again, it's just not really a modern country or civilization. But they do, because they're so close with Australia, they do become part of the Commonwealth, the British Commonwealth. And then in 1975, they gain full independence. So one of the newer countries on the globe, and just one of the newer countries in general as far as just being on the world stage and, interacting with the other powers. And I don't just mean as a nation state, I mean, just basically as a civilization. So what has independence been like for Papua New Guinea? Well, a little rough, a little rocky, because again, you have so many different people on this island, and they don't really have like a political mind, like as far as how to administer like a state, because they never really were a state. There's so many different people there. So they have had issues. There was a civil war, couple, I believe in like the 80s into the 90s. You can correct me if I'm wrong, with the Bougainville province or region of Papua New Guinea. And that led to like 20,000 deaths, so pretty serious. And then there's also, the other half of the island that is Indonesia. So there's a lot of tension there where those people don't want to be part of Indonesia, and, the Bougainville people, like, they don't want to be a part of Papua New Guinea. So a lot of separatist movements and civil unrest on both sides. And that does continue to this day. So not exactly a stable country. And there's actually kind of like an interim period right now where they're looking into independence for the Bougainville area. So could we see a new country on the map pretty soon? It is possible. There was another new country that separated from Indonesia, East Timor or Timor-Leste, however you want to name it. So these these massive island countries with no real cultural ties or identity or anything like that, they're kind of held together with duct tape and bubble gum, and Papua New Guinea is really no different there. So just having them as one kind of unified state where there's just so many differences and just nothing even remotely resembling a Western kind of government tradition. It's kind of a tinderbox, so we'll see what happens in the future. I do think it is kind of cool that, if you're an adventurer, this is certainly an interesting place to go to. A lot of opportunities to explore and put your name on things. Is all these animals and plants and who knows what that we don't even really know anything about. Again, I think that's kind of cool. But as far as treating them as like an actual functioning state or a country, that's kind of a stretch, I think. But they are on the map, so they get a flag on my little project here, and it's kind of a cool flag. All right, so what does the flag mean? So red, black, and yellow are traditional colors of Papua New Guinea. The burb of paradise. This is exclusive to the island of New Guinea. So this is a native burb there. If you ever heard of the birds of paradise, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful animals. I don't know if they're endangered, but they're pretty much just in this area. So you don't really see anything else like these. You got those long, kind of like tail-looking things that are, I guess, feathers, but unique looking bird, nothing like that anywhere else in the world. The stars here represent the Southern Cross, which is visible in the black, the night sky, and symbolizes their connection with Australia and several other countries within the South Pacific. So pretty cool flag, I think. Burb, right? I always love the burb flags, especially the unique burb. So that is Papua New Guinea. And I hope you learned something about a pretty crazy country, one that's definitely really nothing else like it on the world, but there it is. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video.